We have here a circuit that at the moment is just a simple memory. So we have a capacitor on one input lead, the other input lead is at +5, so it doesn't affect us. And what can happen is we can leave a high voltage on the capacitor and it remembers the high voltage, or we can leave a low voltage on the capacitor, it remembers the low voltage even though we disconnect the wire. How about we just connect this wire to something more interesting? Let's go to the next circuit, and now let's connect the wire to the output. Now the output is opposite. If the input goes high, the output goes low. If the input goes low, the output goes high. So let's see if we can get it to have a little fight with itself. So if the input goes low, output goes high. If we connect back, then the output's going to try and make the input go high, even though it's low. And if the input is high and the output goes low, then the output's going to try and make the input low. It's going to really have a tug of war with itself. But we don't want any injuries here, so we'll put a little resistor in here. That squiggly line there is a resistor. And that is a small component which has two legs. And we can talk about the color code, the color bands on the resistor later. But what we're going to do is just connect this from the output to the input. Let's see what we've got. So we go from output, which is pin 3, back to input on the pin 2, that capacitor. It's just next door. So what we do is we space out a little bit and let's see what happens. We switch on and the LED turns on and it goes off and on, off and on, off and on. Hey, it's turning off and on. You see that there? So it's blipping for us. So what's happening is it's on for a long time, turns off for a short time. So that's something I want you to try and see if you can imagine what's happening. But I'll give you a clue. What's happening is we are filling up the capacitor, then emptying the capacitor. Filling up, then emptying. But I'll leave you to work out where it's filling up from and where it is emptying to. What we've done is we've just made a little pulse generator, just like the one that's been flashing away down the bottom of the circuit. But I'll tell you one thing though, it's not a very good pulse generator because it's not symmetrical. It's high for much longer than it's low. So if you can experiment a little bit, maybe you can find out what's making that happen. And next time we meet, you'll actually find out how to make this symmetrical again. Have fun trying these experiments.